Alright, so after a few hours of tweaking with the Jebao 25, WP25, not the crappy skimmer, as you can see, bubbles are still there. That's fine for now. Um, it also helps to show the motion of this quite powerful power head. So, I had it, if you look over here on this side, I had it just about on every part of this glass, facing every which way across the tank, every which possible angle, to try and keep it from moving sand around. I left it in one certain spot. It seemed like it was okay. It was moving slight particles of sand on the sand bed. Didn't think it'd be too much. Came back a couple hours later, and this corner had been almost completely sifted away. So I have it, if you can see, a little less than halfway down the tank. So, yeah, like I would say 60% down, or 40% from the bottom up, is where I have the power head, and I've had to direct it. I tried directing it against rocks, to kind of like break up the power of the flow. It was working a little bit, but not enough. This seems to be the best. Shoot it straight at the top of the water. If you can see, right now I just have my light like resting on top, which I shouldn't be doing, but it is what it is right now. There's quite a lot of movement, if you can see that little gap there. So there's quite a lot of movement along the water surface. From what I can tell, it hits the top, makes its way around, starts swirling around, comes all the way to the bottom, and even in the back over here, you can see the slight movement, just a little bit of movement of some of the aragonite sand. So that's showing that's definitely hitting the bottom. And if you can see, actually, the air bubbles from this awful skimmer do help to show that it comes down here, makes its way around, and comes back up through here, almost doing like a, like hits off here, goes against the wall, comes down, swoops around, makes a big circle. I've actually put a little bit of extra food earlier in, let it go to the bottom, using the feeding mode, which turns off the power for 10 minutes. Let food hit the bottom, set it on this, just like it is, so with the food at the bottom that the fish didn't eat, it does still get all the way around, picks up that food, flows it back up in. Either the fish will get it or it'll be able to get back into the filter. So it's definitely doing its job, keeping all the crap off the bottom. Tons of water movement. The little frags that I have, like that little Zoa, doesn't seem bothered. He's open. The mushrooms, they have been opening and closing a little bit. We'll see how they do. I got this A-can here. Seems fine. The flower pot, it's a little flower pot frag. Hasn't been doing too well in general, but he's definitely sucked back into his little calcium body there. And then the Flavia, which just always looks the same. So the fish have been moving around a little bit more. Hard to see right now, but when I walked back into to my place earlier, they were kind of swimming around in it. Didn't seem too bothered unless they swam right above the power head, and then they get blown away. So they're learning their lesson. But yeah, overall, this seems to be the best spot for the power head in a 20-gallon tall tank. So it is doable. Just takes a little bit of tweaking.